of fights that comes your way on Showtime Championship Boxing from the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. Now, the broadcast will come your way at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. This entire event is being brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. It is being promoted by TGB Promotions. Tickets are available for this event through Ticketmaster.com. Again, Ticketmaster.com. Triple header of fights that comes your way on Showtime Championship Boxing March 4th. But the main event, two former world champions, Mark Magsayo, Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa, former 122-pound WBC champion, 23-1-1, 18 knockouts, taking on Mark Magsayo, the former WBC Featherweight champion, 23-1, 16 knockouts. I'm going to talk to both of these fighters. We'll talk about the fight. We'll allow you members of the media to ask questions as well. All you have to do is hit the raise your hand icon there on the Zoom, and you will be pointed out, and you can ask your questions to the fighters. But first, let's start with Mark Magsayo, the former WBC featherweight champion. Mark, if you could, for members of the media who are watching here, just tell us how training has been going and give us your thoughts on facing Brandon Figueroa March 4th on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. I've been training for since October until now. The training camp was good and sparring was good. I've done 12 rounds, 10 rounds. Training is good, and my thoughts of this fight for Brandon Figueroa it's a great fight and brawl fight. Yes, the winner of this fight is the fans.
Love that. Absolutely. Of course, the manager, promoter for Mark Magsayo, Sean Gibbons, is with us as well. Sean, wanted to give you the opportunity to give a word. Just give us your thoughts on Mark Magsayo now coming back to the ring. It'll be our first time seeing him since the Ray Vargas fight. And then your thoughts on the matchup with Brandon Figueroa.
Again, like to first of all say thank you for everybody for joining us today. Thank you for Showtime. Again, like Mark just said, it's a matchup of two great styles, two guys that come right to you that want to mix it up and bang. So I see Mark had the worst luck. You know what I mean? We had to fight Gary Russell, arguably the best 126 pounder in the world at that time, and then his first event's Ray Vargas. And so coming into this fight, it's going to be a much better style for everybody. For Mark, Mark feels great. He feels refreshed. He feels new. He's done a few different things to correct some stuff that happened in the Ray Vargas fight. And I just can tell you again, it's a fight that the fans are going to be the winner. And whoever wins this fight is going to be right back on top at 126-pound division.
Mark, I'll come to you because it is the first time we're seeing you since that Ray Vargas. Obviously, was a close fight. Yes. He got the decision, became champion. What did you learn from that loss to Ray Vargas?
I learned that I need to adjust for the long fighter, and I just need to more listen to the coaches, and more a little bit detailed for that fight. I'm almost win that fight. I think I win that fight, but I respect the judges.
Now, once again, here you are back, and once again you're fighting another long, rangy guy in Brandon Figueroa. So, does the game plan change at all now that you're fighting again another long, rangy guy in Brandon Figueroa?
Brandon Figueroa is different. He's a long guy, but he's not gonna run. So, it's not easy to target, but I'm sure I'm gonna hit him hard.
I love it. On paper, Mark, this looks like the classic Mexican versus Filipino matchup. So what should fans expect when you and Brandon Figueroa get in the ring together?
Expect another history of boxing, and it's a great fight because Brandon Figueroa is coming forward, and I like coming forward. So It depends if he can handle my power too.
Sean, I got to come to you on that again. You know, listen, this is Mexico versus Filipino. We know the history that has come with that. What should we expect when these two type of styles collide March 4th on Showtime Championship Boxing?
I think you're going to expect someone getting knocked out, and it's not going to be Mark Magsayo. Mark brings so much athleticism, power, speed. He's the full package, and Brandon's style just complements everything Mark does. So it's similar to when you watched Manny Pacquiao with the speed, the feet, the movement, box around Marquez, Morales, all those guys. That's what you're going to see with Mark Magsayo. March 4th is just a clinic. I mean, Mark is hitting his stride. He's perfect where he needs to be. And like you said, he's fighting a guy that wants to come to fight. I can tell you, it's just going to be, it's going to be bombs away. And it's only going to be one winner. And that's going to be Mark Magsayo.
Yes, sir.
Mark, the last, I think I would say probably your last 5 fights, Freddie Roach has been your head trainer. But Marvin Samadio will be your head trainer for this fight. And you guys have been working exclusively with one another. Tell us why you made the switch to Marvin and how has he helped you as a fighter going forward?
First, I would like to thank Wildcard and Freddie for this lesson and learning. And I need to I think more communicate for Marvin because Marvin, since he was there since I was for 5 fights for me, and where our chemistry in the training, he studied my opponent. I like him at the detailed training. I like Marvin Sumodio. So we're good in Fridays and gym. We're good. We settled all the that we settled, and then I go to Coach Marvin, and Coach Marvin is great trainer, and then we're both Filipino. We can understand each other, and yeah, and then I think we connect. We're connected. Yeah.
And Sean, if you could clean that up for us, sounds like hey, look, Marvin's Filipino, I'm Filipino. The language is easier for us to contact and talk with one another during the fight. Is it as simple as that, Sean?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Marvin's been there since the very first fight that Mark came to the United States with Rigoberto Hermosillo. Marvin assisted with Freddie constantly. And, sometimes you feel like you just need something fresher, newer, just something different. And not that you're getting something completely different because Marvin was there, but they relate more. They're Filipino. They speak the same dialect. And he just felt like he needed a change. He needed a new gym. He just needed to try something new. And, like I said, nothing against Freddie, nothing against Wildcard, but sometimes you want to try something new, let Marvin lead, be the lead trainer. And we're going to see the results. And I think we'll see very good results on March 4th.
And of course, Mark will be taking on the former 122-pound WBC champion and the Heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa. Brandon is with us as well. Okay, Brandon. So initially, you had this much anticipated rematch with Stephen Fulton Jr. And then out of the blue, he's like, hey, I'm fighting Inoue. And I'm looking to stay at 122 and fight Inoue and unify. So at 126, what do you think about Fulton changing, dropping out of the fight and taking on Inoue? And here you are now against Magsayo.
I mean, it's as expected, At the end of the day, my job is to train and fight, and no matter who they put in front of me, my job is to go out there and give a spectacular fight for the fans, and just do what I do best, which is fight. And I mean, I really wanted that rematch, but I feel like it'll happen in the future. It's just a matter of time. I know that Inoue is a really, really attractive fight for him and me, of course. But yeah, I mean, it was either me or Inoue, and I had told my dad whether it's Rey Vargas or Magsayo or whoever they put in front of me, I'll be ready.
Were you upset? Were you mad? What was your feelings when you found out that like Fulton was like, nah, I'm out. I'm going to fight Inoue, and obviously you had Magsayo.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was a great opportunity for us to make that fight happen, and really, really give the fight fans what they wanted. But I'm sure, I'm sure the fight with him and Inui is going to be a great fight as well as just as me and Magsayo's fight. I feel like any fight that I'm in is going to be a great, awesome fight. Because everyone knows that I come to fight. So yeah, I mean, I was a little bummed out, but I mean, I understand. And I mean, I know that at 126, I'm a different fighter. So coming March 4th, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys will see.
Okay, so let's talk about March 4th, because now you've got a former champion in Mark Magsayo in front of you, a guy who's got some power in his hands. Talk to us about Mark Magsayo, your opponent, and what should we expect when you two get in the ring?
Oh yeah, Mark Magsayo is an amazing fighter. We expect a lot from him. We've been training, over here. We've been in Las Vegas for, I think, almost a month. We're going a month and a half, and yeah, I mean, things are going great. Sparring has going great. Preparation has been going awesome. And yeah, Mark Magsayo is a very strong fighter, and we're a strong fighter. We're a strong fighter as well, and I feel like we have what it takes to really take the fight to him and really show the world that at 126 I have the same pop, the same bang I did in 122.
On paper, and I asked them the same question, on paper, this looks like that classic Mexico versus Filipino type matchup. What should fans expect?
I mean, yeah, of course, as they expected from Pacquiao and Marquez. It's just amazing fight. I know that he has a heart of a lion. I'm pretty sure they know I have a heart of a lion. So it's going to be two amazing fighters just in there, trying to win again. And I'm not going to let anyone get in my way. I'm going in there with everything, and I want to come out as a champion, and I will.
One of the things that we talked with Mark about was like, hey, look, he took that loss to Ray Vargas, but now here he is fighting another long rangy guy in Brandon Figueroa. Mark felt like, hey, this time it's going to be different, because unlike, whether it was Gary Russell Jr. or whether like Ray Vargas, there's not going to be any running, in his opinion. Brandon Figueroa is a guy who comes to fight, and that's what we're going to have on March 4th. The only difference is, as Mark pointed out, Brandon Figueroa is not going to be able to handle my power. Your response to that?
I mean, I've been in there with a lot of great fighters, a lot of former world champions. I've been in there with Ceja that, I mean, I've actually fought Ceja at 126 and a half. I fought him as a 122 pounder. And if you saw the fight, Ceja didn't knock me down. And he knocked 126 pound Mark Magsayo down. So, I mean, that goes to show that even me at 122, I was able to handle Ceja's power at 126. And, a lot of people don't know about that. But yeah, Ceja came in 4.5 pounds over. And, I mean, you guys saw the fight. He didn't make me buckle. I didn't budge. He hit me with some good shots at 122. And I feel like that goes to show. I know Ceja dropped Magsayo with the, I think, left hook. And yeah, I mean, that's on paper, on whatever. But at the end of the day, I come to fight, and it's a different story once they get in the ring with me.
Did you happen at all to watch Magsayo fight Ray Vargas? Magsayo just told us, listen, in his opinion, he thought he won the fight, even though he respects the judge's decisions. Did you watch the fight, and who did you think won that fight?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was a really close fight. I feel like Ray Vargas did enough just to edge him a little bit. We did see a lot of things in that fight that definitely showed that, Ray Vargas was the one that went in there and just took the belt from him. And I mean, it was an amazing fight. Don't get me wrong. The atmosphere was crazy. And I just felt like Ray Vargas just did a little bit enough just to win the fight.
Okay, so I'll wrap my questions up with you guys with this, and I'll ask you the same question. Brandon, I'll start with you. For the people who tune in to Showtime Championship Boxing on March 4th, and the people who pay their money to come out to that Toyota Center in Ontario, California, what can you guarantee that they're going to get on March 4th when you step into the ring with Mark Magsayo?
Oh man, just an amazing fight. Maybe another fight of the year candidate. I mean, who knows? I'm just so ready to go out there and show my skills and show people what I do, which is go out there and fight. I mean, you guys love me. You guys love when I fight, and people get excited because they know that it's not gonna be a boring fight. I go out there to fight, and I go out there to give my all and give the fans the best of my ability. So I'm just so excited for March 4th. I've been telling my dad that I've been wanting to do these big fights, whether it's former champions, world champions, it doesn't matter. I just want to get in there with the best of the best, and I want to keep proving to everyone and to myself that I belong in that world-class level.
Mark, same question to you. For people who tune in to Showtime Championship Boxing on March 4th, and they come out to that arena and pay their money, what can you guarantee they're going to get on March 4th?
I guarantee that they're not gonna regret for this fight, because this fight is a great fight and an amazing fight. Because Figueroa is a strong fighter, is coming forward always, and then he's strong. And me, I have a strong too, but this when the strong collides, is good. It's a good fight.
I love it. Love it. Okay, I know there's members of the media that've got a number of questions for both of you guys, so I'm going to allow them to ask you guys questions. Again, members of the media, just hit the raise your hand icon there. And Andrew Roberts from Swanson Communication, he will acknowledge you, and then you can ask your question to either one of those fighters. I'm going to pass this over to Andrew. Go right ahead.
Thanks very much, Brian. We'll start off with Keith Idek from Boxing Scene. Keith, please unmute yourself, and you can ask your question.
Thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Mark. Mark, you mentioned earlier in the call that Marvin is now training you exclusively. Now, where are you? You're not training at the Wildcard Gym anymore then, right? And so where are you training?
I'm training in Brick House Boxing Gym.
Where is that?
Burbank.
Burbank. Okay. Okay. And I was just wondering, Mark, do you feel, obviously you're fighting for the interim title here. So Ray Vargas, of course, lost on Saturday night. So do you feel like this is your path to the rematch, that he's going to move back down to 126, and that if you're able to beat Brandon next week, or 2 weeks from now, that you'll be able to fight him again?
Yeah, if I'm an opportunity to fight again, and if I win this coming Saturday, March 4th, and then I'm ready to fight with Ray Vargas if it comes down in 126.
Okay. Sean mentioned earlier in the call that there were a couple of things that you've done differently apart from making Marvin your head trainer again. What are some of the things that maybe you've done differently and that have helped you in this training camp?
More detailed in training, and more in the fight, more smart in training, because I have already strong. So we focus on the smart training and more defense.
Did you feel like you overtrained for the Vargas fight? When you say smarter training, just not overtraining for the fight, did you feel that way?
Not overtrained. Maybe just a little bit adjust for that fight, because I'm almost winning that fight. I think for me, as I'm the one who win the fight.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mark. I just have a couple of questions for Brandon as well. Brandon, I know Brian asked you earlier in the call about the Fulton and Niue fight. Who do you think wins that fight, and why?
I feel like Inoue just knows what he's doing in there. I just feel like he has all the capabilities to beat Fulton, but I mean, Fulton is very crafty, very smart fighter. So that one would also be a good fight. I feel like if Fulton just boxes them, I feel like he has a great chance. But if he stands in front of Inoue, I feel like Inoue can really hurt him.
Brandon, I know that Steven is your rival and everything, and you had one of the best fights of the year in 2021. What does it say about him, though? I mean, everyone wanted to see you guys fight again, but what does it say about him that he's willing to go to Japan to fight a guy who has, at lower weight classes, knocked virtually everyone out?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know he's trying to chase greatness. I mean, I feel like that's what we are in the sport, and yeah. I mean, I have nothing against him. I wish him the best, and I hope that one day we can get that rematch, whether it's at 126 or whenever. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's great for his legacy, and it's great for boxing, and it'll be a good fight. It'll be a really good fight.
Your chin has obviously been one of your best attributes here and throughout your career. I know you alluded to it a little bit earlier, but when Mark says, or Sean said, that he's going to knock you out, what do you think about that?
I mean, that's what they've been saying since the start of my career, that my defense is bad, that I have weird style, and that that I need to work on my defense. But yet, I mean, I'm still here. I'm not saying that I'm here by the skin of my teeth, but I've been working hard, and I always work hard. And my dad also compliments my chin, but I know that I just have to be smarter and better every fight, and I can't rely on my chin all the time. I know that I know Mark Magsayo hits hard, and they can say what they say, but at the end of the night, I mean, come fight night, they'll find out if I'm easy to knock out or not.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Steve Angeles with ABS-CBN. Steve, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Hi, Mark. Kumusta na? A quick question for Mark. And also Sean. This is the first time, syempre, the Vargas fight was your first ever loss. This is the first time you're fighting after a loss, your first ever loss. What's your mindset coming into this? Does it change you? You were undefeated for so long, and then the Vargas happened. So what's going on in your? Do you feel there's more pressure now that you need to bounce back, or less pressure? You're not keeping a perfect record anymore.
I just come back stronger for this coming fight, and then I just learned a lot of that fight. And I would like to thank Roshan Gibbons and Al Heyman for making this fight happen and give me opportunity again. So yeah, I'll come back stronger.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Steve. Our next question is going to come from Alfredo Sanchez. Alfredo, please say what outlet you're with. You can ask your questions.
Hello, good afternoon. Alfredo Sanchez from KRGV, Noticias RGV in the Rio Grande Valley. 2 questions for Brandon. It will be in Spanish, but I'll translate for you guys. Brandon, espero que estés bien. Muchas gracias por tu tiempo. ¿Tuviste tú la oportunidad de ver en vivo Rey Vargas contra Mark Magsayo? En ese entonces, ¿qué es lo que pudiste estudiar de Mark Magsayo, el estilo y la forma que él pelea? So obviously you had the privilege after your fight with, in the same title card back in July in San Antonio, that you were able to actually see the Mark Magsayo, Rey Vargas right there and then. What were some of the things that you took away from that fight? Anything that you studied to kind of help you out in this fight?
Oh yes, of course. That fight. Just with other fights, I know a fight doesn't make a fighter because I know they'll train different. But some of the same little bad habits that they do will be there. Definitely saw a lot of frustration. We saw a lot of little things that we can work off of both fighters, obviously, because I was mandatory to fight Rey Vargas, so my attention was on him. But then it turned out that he moved up to 130, so now our focus was on whoever, and they brought the focus down to Mark Magsayo. So we started analyzing his fights and everything, and we saw a lot of frustration. We saw a lot of impatience in him in that fight, and we took a lot from it. We took a lot from it, and we're learning from it, and we're definitely preparing as we speak.
¿Me lo puedes decir en español, por favor?
No, sí, claro, también en esa pelea aprendimos bastante que Mark Magsayo se frustra mucho, bien impaciente cuando se venía la pelea contra Rey Vargas, y es algo que nosotros notamos mucho y estamos tomando en cuenta para practicar para este combate. Yo sé que Mark Magsayo tiene un estilo muy diferente a los demás, pero también nosotros tenemos un estilo muy diferente, y yo creo que nada más con estudiarlo un poquito, mirar sus hábitos malos, podemos ganar.
And one last question, última pregunta para ti, Brandon. ¿Ya has tenido más tiempo de ajustarte en las 126 libras? ¿Cómo, a comparación a la primera vez que peleaste a las 126, en estos momentos, cómo se ha ajustado el cuerpo? So you have time to adjust from the first time that you hit 126 until now going to a second fight. How does your body feel? Has it made an adjustment? Do you feel different than the first time that you fought at 126?
Oh, yes, definitely. I feel really strong, really, really strong, actually. I've been preparing myself for almost, I feel like 3 months, on and off, 4 months. And I've been waiting, I've been ready. I've been waiting for the call. I've been training, and I went to San Antonio to train for a month. Now I'm here in Vegas training for another month and a half, going to 2. I mean, it's amazing. I love what I do, and I just can't wait to get in the ring and show you guys what I do.
En español, por favor.
No, sí, claro. Yo sé que en este momento hice un mes de campo en San Antonio y ahora estoy acá en Las Vegas entrenando por casi 2 meses. Y toda esta preparación me está dando mucha confianza para mí y pues para prepararme para esa gran pelea que voy a tener contra Mark Magsayo. Yo sé que no va a ser una pelea fácil, pero lo estamos preparando para lo que venga. Y yo sé que le vamos a dar a los fans los que se merecen una pelea muy, muy buena. Y yo sé que estamos preparando para este combate que no va a ser fácil, pero vamos a ir con todo para ganar.
Thank you, Brandon. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Alfredo. As a reminder to the media, if you have any questions, please hit that raise hand icon at the bottom of your screen. Our next question is going to come from Marcus Hayes with FightHub TV. Marcus, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, guys, this question is going to be for B-Fig, for Brandon Figueroa. Brandon, this is Marcus Hayes from FightHub. I got a chance to spend time with you up at the gym in the desert in California, in SoCal, before the Neary fight. And in that training, I saw you really digging real deep. You seem to kind of go to a place of pure exhaustion. I talked to Joel Diaz about it, and he says that that's kind of something that he saw in you. What preparations have you made for this fight, preparing for somebody like Magsayo, who's all action and the come forward guy the way he is?
Yeah, of course. You know, we always make sure that our conditioning and our stamina is always A1. I feel like that's a given. I feel like it's one of my natural abilities is to have that crazy stamina, that volume punching. But, you know, we have to be a little smarter, and we talked it over with my team, and maybe, you know, trade some of the volume punching for more power shots and precision shots. I feel like that's what we've been working on is trading my volume punching, because I feel like sometimes I just throw a lot of punches, and I feel like the judges, you know, like I said, like I learned a lot from the Stephen Fulton fight, and I feel like the judges just like to see those nice, crisp, explosive shots. That's something that we've been working on. And I feel like it'll definitely work in our favor come March 4th. You know, I feel like we prepared for this fight long enough, and I've been ready. I've been ready for months to come now after that Carlos Castro fight, and I've been wanting to, you know, be crowned world champion again. So yeah, we've been working like crazy, and my confidence is up there, and I just can't wait to get in there and mix it up.
And Brandon, what are your thoughts about? You can hear it here. We've heard it in the media. We hear Magsayo kind of alluding to it. He expects you to be there and to be available, to be hit early and often in the fight. Is there any defensive wrinkles that you guys have inserted for this camp that you look to exert on fight night?
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm not a dumb fighter. You know, I know exactly what I'm doing inside the pocket. I know a lot of people say like I have long arms, use them. But when I'm inside, I'm really comfortable. I really know how to work on the inside, and I can let off my body shots that I do so well. But yeah, definitely we worked on little things. You know, working on getting in there, getting out, getting in there, getting out, and not trying to get hit as much, because I know Mark Magsayo, you know, he's a heavy hitter, same as me. But regardless if we were going to fight him or whoever, you know, this is something that, you know, it's really good for my style, and, you know, just to better myself as a fighter overall, you know, just getting smarter, working on my defense, speed, offense, jab, everything. We've been working on everything just so that we're prepared for anything that comes.
And this question is for Mark, and that'll be it for me, gentlemen. Magsayo, congratulations for being back on the big stage versus Brandon Figueroa. Let me ask you, is there anything that you have taken from the Ray Vargas fight that you can build off of coming off of your first defeat? And if so, what are 2 things that you think that will make a difference between your last fight and this fight to lead you to victory?
Just a little bit adjust patience and too wild, because that's we're adjusting with Coach Marvin now, and then we're great punching. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. There's gonna be big change for this next fight because I learned a lot from the last fight.
All right. Thanks for
Thank you guys and good luck.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks very much, Marcus. Appreciate it. Our next question is going to come from Cesar Seda with America TV. Cesar, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Yes, how you doing, guys? Cesar Seda, Boxeo Urbano Network. First question is for Brandon. Brandon, I know you coming from a good win, a good win in return of a loss. But now that you've seen what is going on in both divisions, going up to 126, if you happen to lose this fight, which I know you don't looking for that, or if you win or tie, are you planning to stay 126, or is there a way that you can go back down to 122?
Oh no, for sure 126. I'm growing. I feel like the last time with Stephen Fulton was the last. I feel like I can make 122. I was at literally like the end of that 122 road. Me and my team had been talking about moving up to 126 a long time ago. I feel like after the Nery fight, that's when we were planning on moving up. But obviously, that fight was attractive to us, so we took it. And I feel like 122 for me is already long gone. I feel just so much bigger now, so much stronger, just so much fuller at 126, and I feel really comfortable at that weight. So I know that come to March 4th, you guys will see definitely how comfortable I am at 126 and how well it's been treating me. So it's just a matter of getting wins and just getting in there in the best fights possible.
¿Puedes repetirlo en español abreviado por lo menos?
¿Mande?
¿Puedes repetirlo en español abreviado por lo menos?
Sí, claro. Sí, yo sé que en esta pelea estamos enfocados en Mark Magsayo. Yo sé que quiero ganar esta pelea. Yo sé que las 122 libras para mí ya es un puesto que ya no se puede lograr porque mi cuerpo está crece, yo también. Y yo creo que en la 126 es cuando mi cuerpo se siente más relajado, más confiado en mí mismo, tengo más poder, tengo un poquito más habilidad de hacer una pelea más excitante y puedo pelear un poquito mejor. Yo sé que en la 122 era un peso donde yo ya estaba batallando un poquito, así como en la pelea de Stephen Fulton. Y en la 126 me siento muy, muy fuerte y es algo que yo quiero explorar y quiero ganar y quiero pelearle a cualquiera, a todos los campeones de 126 y ojalá un día moverme a la 130.
Gracias. Question for Mark. Mark Magsayo, you coming from your first loss. Everybody have been saying that for you. It's simple. How hungry you are now coming from that loss in going to this another important fight for you is we are product of second opportunities, and now you got a second opportunity in your hand. How hungry are you coming up to this fight?
More hungry as the same as before. Same as before. More hungry because I'm very thankful for this opportunity again because it's a world title fight in interim. So I need to win this fight because I need to fight a world title fight. I need to fight a world champion.
All right, thanks very much, Cesar. And our last question from the media is going to come from Lucas Cattell with Inside the Ropes. Lucas, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Okay, real quick question for both fighters fighting in Southern California. Can you speak on fighting in the Southern California market and this area and kind of just where the fight ended up and kind of just that part of this? What it's like to fight in Southern California?
It's good, and because there's a lot of Filipinos and Mexicans here in Ontario, California, so it's got a big great night that this coming March 4 because two former world champions are fighting in each other, so it's gonna be a great night and good fight to the fans.
And then Brandon, if you could please answer that one as well.
Yeah, of course. California, I've been, I trained there a couple of times in Indio. I fought there a couple of times, and yeah, I know for a fact people are going to go out there just to watch me and Mark Magsayo fight. It's going to be an amazing night. Definitely gonna have a lot of people in the arena, and I already know that the atmosphere is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, and I can't wait for it. I mean, it's gonna be an amazing night, and the fans are gonna get what they're gonna, reason why they're gonna go is because they know it's gonna be a firefight. They know it's gonna be fireworks. They know it's gonna be an amazing night of fighting, and they know that me and Mark Magsayo are gonna probably give one of the best fights of the year, possibly. And so yeah, I'm just very excited to. I mean, it doesn't matter where we fight. Honestly, I'm just so excited just to have a fight, have a date, have a venue, and I'm just can't wait for fight week and for fight night.
All right, great. Thank you very much for that last question, Lucas, and thank you to both Brandon and Mark for taking the time, and to all the media for joining us today. With that, I'll turn it back over to Brian to wrap things up for us.
Okay, Andrew, thank you very much. Guys, let's wrap this up. And Mark, start with you, man. Give you the final comment for members of the media here. Give us a final comment on this fight March 4th with Brandon Figueroa.
Thank you for describing this media interview and press conference, and to all everyone, thank you. And Sershan and Al-Heyman, thank you for making this fight happen. BBC, Showtime, thank you. And to all fans, I would like to invite you to watch our fight, Brandon Figueroa and Mark Magsayo, for this March 4. This is going to be a great night, another history of boxing, and the winner of this fight is the fans.
That's great. Brandon, same to you. Final word on this fight.
No, so I'd just like to thank God, thank my family that's always with me. Thank everyone that's made this possible. Showtime, Al-Heyman, you guys, the media, for pushing this fight and letting the fans know that there's an amazing fight coming up March 4th. And I'm just very excited. I'm just very excited for all the fans that are gonna pay tickets to go out there and watch us or watch us live. It doesn't matter. As long as you guys watch us to me and Mark Magsayo, that'll mean everything. And come fight night, we're gonna give the fans a hell of a show, and I just can't wait to put it all together. I know leading up to this, is it like 3 weeks? 3 weeks left? Yeah, I mean, just almost there. It's almost around the corner, so I'm just very excited. Training camp has been going amazing, and yeah, big shout out to the fans. Big shout out to Mark. Thank you. You guys are always amazing, and thank you guys for your time, patience, and I'm just very excited to get in there and hopefully take that belt home.
Listen, they always say styles make fights, and you got two former world champions, two guys who've got great dynamite in their hands, and they come forward, and that's what boxing fans want to see, and that's what you're going to get on Saturday, March 4th, a triple header of fights, but the main event featuring two former world champions going at it. Brandon Figueroa, Mark Magsayo, and it's for the interim WBC title at 126 pounds. Comes your way on Showtime Championship Boxing, March 4th, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time is when the broadcast begins. It is brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions, and tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. Folks, I'm Brian Custer. We will see you March 4th from the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California, and on Showtime Championship Boxing. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Good stuff, gentlemen, man. Appreciate you.
Recording stopped.
Thank you, Sir Brian. Thank you for everyone. Brendan, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Good to see you, B.
Yes, sir. Likewise.
Okay. Give Omar my best, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. And to your father, Mark, see you. And tell Mr. Givens, thanks a lot. He's always a showstopper. We appreciate him jumping on as well.
Thank you, Sir Brian Custer. Thank you.
Take care,
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye, Flo.
Bye.